Every month, the moment her salary lands, it's already gone. Not stolen, not lost. Handed over to her husband because in their home, that's just how it works. Yesterday is 28. She's been married for 3 years and lately she doesn't know if she should call herself a wife or someone who works every day just to fund another family. Before she met her husband, life was hard. She's the first child with young siblings depending on her and parents who struggle just to keep the family afloat. Then she met Tunde. He believed in her when she'd almost given up on school. He paid her fees, encouraged her, stood by her after graduation, and even helped her land a job through his connections. She promised herself she'd support him and their home in every way she could. But the moment she started earning, everything changed. Every month, as soon as her salary comes in, Tunde takes it all. In his words, a wife shouldn't keep money from her husband because everything belongs to the family. If she needs money for clothes, toiletry, anything small for herself, she has to ask. Sometimes he give it, sometimes he tell her to wait until the next month. And when she asks politely if she could keep even a part of her own salary, he gets upset. He even threatens to end the marriage over it. Outside of this is caring, loving, supportive. That's why she keeps quiet month after month and hands it all over even though it hurts. What hurts more is watching where the money actually goes. Today pays his youngest brother's school fees, settles his parents' bills, sends money to his sisters, contributes to family projects. She doesn't return that family. Family matters to her too. But what about her family? Her parents are aging. Her siblings still need help. Some nights her mother calls in tears. No money for food, no money for the hospital. And Yewande has to say she has nothing, even though she worked the entire month. The truth is, she doesn't have access to her own salary. And when she raises the idea of helping her parents, Tunde gets angry. It tells her that once a man marries, her priority is her husband's family, that her parents should lean on her brothers instead, even though they are struggling too. Last week, her father fell seriously ill. Her mother called crying, begging, just for a little money for his treatment. Yewande asked Tunde if she could use part of her salary to help. He said no. He had already planned how the money would be spent. That night, she cried herself to sleep, grateful for everything he had done for her and trapped by everything in her control. Welcome to Clarity Before Commitment, because commitment deserves clarity. Yewande's story isn't really about his salary. It's about what happens when one person enters a marriage assuming partnership and the other person enters it assuming control. And neither of them ever said so out loud until it was already the pattern. By the end of this episode, I want you to leave with one question. Have we intentionally designed our financial structure, or would we discover it through conflict? Why did this happen? Stories like Yewande's rarely start with cruelty. They start with silence. Before marriage, money conversations feels awkward, even disloyal to bring up. Like you are questioning the relationship before it even begun. So couples skip it. They assume gratitude, love, or good intentions will sort it out later. But gratitude is not a financial system, and love does not specify who controls the bank account. Some people grew up watching one parent control every decision. Others grew up watching both parents share the load. Every one of those experiences quietly becomes a blueprint, a set of unspoken beliefs about who earns, who decides, who gives, and who asks permission. When two people carry different blueprints into a marriage and never compare them, one of two things happen. They build something intentional together, or one blueprint quietly overrides the other. In Yewande's stories, it wasn't a negotiation. It became an assumption enforced by threat. That's why at Clarity Before Commitment, we say, don't assume, discuss. Because the conversations everyone assumes are often the conversations that matter the most. Financial conversations before I do. If you one day and today had sat down before marriage, here are some of the questions that could have changed everything. 1. How will we manage our income? Combined, personal, or a system that works for both of us? 2. Who makes financial decisions? One person or both? Or together? 3. If one person earns more, does that person get more control or does responsibility stay shared? 4. What happens when either spouse wants to support their own parents or siblings? Is that a personal decision or a joint one? 5. What does financial transparency look like? And does it go both ways? 6. What happens if either spouse disagree with how money is being spent? Is there a process or is it final by default? Yuande didn't end up here because she made a mistake. She ended up here because a decision was made for her, and by the time she noticed it, it had already become how things are done. Here's what this story teaches. Gratitude is not consent. Being thankful for someone doesn't mean surrendering every future decision to them. Everything belongs to the family still requires both people to define what that means. Otherwise, it becomes a phrase that only restricts one person. Supporting extended family shouldn't be one-sided. If one spouse family is funded and the other is refused, that's not family values. That's an imbalance. Silence now becomes structure later. The financial habits couples never discuss in year 1 are the ones they are stuck with defending in year 3. There is no single correct financial system. Combined accounts, separate accounts, or one end managing it all can work. What makes a system healthy isn't the structure, it is whether both people actually agree to it. So, before you say I do, ask yourself, is our financial system something we built together or something one of us simply accepted? Because the conversations everyone assumes are often the conversations that matter the most. And remember, commitment deserves clarity.